Hello, hello. Okay, so 1 minute to get everybody gathered. So, hello, let me know that you are in. So, hello everyone, I'm Vika. Today, we'd like to greet you from Kharkov. We have got the extremely fascinating webinar dedicated to intonation, blah, 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 blah. So, I hope that you might have fallen asleep already. So, wake up and tell me, please, what was wrong about my monologue. I'm not sure that you enjoyed it because it was quite strange one and not very emotional colored. So tell me, please, did I use the correct pitch pattern? Did I use the clear utterance? I'm not sure that I have done all of this stuff. If you have no clue about what pitch and utterance mean, you're at the right time and the right place. And today we begin our webinar dedicated to intonation. And all of these notions, they are involved in the intonation topic. So as we can see, our intonation has got some rises and some fallings. It means that we have got the pitch. Pitch, this is the level of sound. Level of sound can be high and low. And it includes the intonation. If you pronounce the words clearly, if you say the word correctly, it means that you use the clear utterance. Utterance means your correct pronunciation. How clearly you say the words with the correct stress, with the correct sounds, and so on and so forth. Okay, if we use the same pitch repeatedly every day, means that we sound monotonous and nobody is interested to listen to us. That's why we need to verify our speech, to give the emotions to our speech, and to show that we are interested, surprised, amused, maybe embarrassed. So everything that helps us to express our feelings. If the intonation indicates your emotional state, you will try to develop it in your student speech. To practice it, I have got some fascinating stuff for you today. First of all, you need to find out some phrase that you use daily. If we're students of English, if we're teachers of English, we teach our students some stuff, some grammar topics. And what is the most painful topic for our students? It's not grammar. I'm not sure about it. This is irregular verbs. I don't know. Everybody is afraid of it. So, and you politely ask your students to learn it, and you say that today you have got the home task, you need to do some task, blah, 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 and you need to learn irregular verbs. So make sure that you learn irregular verbs. So you use the pitch that is even, you stress nothing, but if you come next day and your students didn't learn everything, you need to show this. And you need to stress this in your speech. It means that you say, come on, make sure to learn irregular verbs. You stress learn. It will be the pitch of your phrase. Learn, the word learn. If again you have to conduct the test, you have conducted it, and as a result, you see that your students didn't do this, of course. And next time you come to the classroom, you say, learn irregular verbs. You stress everything because you want to show that you're furious and you want to make your students learn this for sure. It means that you will use different intonation for this one. If you want to use some sophisticated phrase, you may practice this intonation with the help of different quotations that you may pick up from different film. For example, I've never watched Dirty Dancing film, but I like the quotation of it. It really appeals to me. Like, we have got the phrase, nobody puts baby in the corner. I hope that you have heard it, of course. So, we have got this phrase. I understand that you don't see it clear, but it doesn't matter. Relax. We need to use sound. I hope that you will try this with your students and your students will be fascinated by this, because this is really entertaining exercise that will help you to teach this pitch and to understand how to build the pitch in your sentence or in the phrase. So, what should you do? You need to read this phrase with your mouth closed and you produce only one sound, m. And while reading this, you exaggerate your m sound. It will be something strange now. You think that I went crazy, but it works, really works. So you will do the same. So it doesn't give you anything, yeah? So it means that you need to act it out to make sure that you hear which words are stressed. Okay, where do you hear this one? So I stressed nobody. It will be very fat dot. Do you see the fat dot? Yeah. And if it is puts, it will be less stressed. Baby will be stressed as well. In the will be not so stressed, and corner will be stressed as well. And we have got this pattern of my phrase. It's easy to do and it's easy to practice. I'm sure that your students will like it and will be fascinated by it. Hence, we have got the different games that may help you, you and your students to practice it and to learn this. So, for example, we have got the rhythm dominoes. I'm sure that you know what domino is. This is the part that have got two sentences from both sides, and you need to match them to create the full row. How can you match them? You can match them by the correct pitch that they have. So these phrases are not so long as mine, and it will be easier for you to distinguish this pattern. So first of all, if you have got weak students, it will be a good idea for you, first of all, to practice it with all of them, with all these phrases. Let them to identify this speech, to put which word is stressed, which word is not stressed, and afterward you let them play. Of course, you need to cut it down and work in the group of 3, 4, and match the phrases with the correct pitch. So it will be perfect for pre-intermediate level. I'm not sure that elementary level will be easily cope with this. But you can do this at the end of the course, in the end of the semester. For final lesson would be perfect. That you say, come on, you didn't manage to learn everything. I can surprise you still. So, and if you want to use this pattern, to use this speech pattern for higher levels, I mean intermediate and up, you can use the fishing game. So don't worry, we will deliver all of this information for you. You will be able to use it. And we have got some fishing. So as you can see, we've got some stones with the phrases on it. And we have got some fish in the middle of the lake or pool or wherever it is. And we have got the phrases that match. We have got the pair phrases. And you need to work in pairs to read one phrase with the correct pitch pattern, with the correct stress in the sentence. And your partner should find the same one with the same pattern. It's quite challenging to do it at once, but with the practice, you will do this better and better. And when you find the phrase, you draw a line that connects this. Why do we have the fish here? Because you need to catch the fish. How catch the fish with the help of the lines? You need to surround it with all lines. After that, you provide your students with the keys, they check themselves, and the person or partners, if you work in pairs, who guessed everything, who caught the correct fish, because the fish has got the letters, will get the victory. You can update this, you can use different phrases as you wish, so wherever you want. Maybe it can be revision classes. In such case, you kill two rabbits. So you revise the phrases that you have learned from the functional language, and you actually practice some intonation. Because everybody thinks that intonation and pronunciation is not very important stuff. We speak and we need to make sure which emotion we supply to our interlocutors. Okay, so we have got a lot of different stuff. For higher levels, we have got this pattern, like don't tell me. It's perfect because we have got a lot of types of intonation here, not only pitches. So pitch almost used with the short phrases, with the short sentences, but if we talk about the intonation, we need to make sure that this is falling and rising intonation. Basically, remember these two types. However, we have got 8 types of it, like high, low, rise, fall, and rise. So you're not preparing students for philological department or lexical department. You are teaching students who have got the English as the second language. So don't make this life, don't make their life too complicated. So tell that we have got only rise intonation and falling intonation. So in this task, you have got these sentences, and the intonation is shown by with the help of different errors. And if the error is rising, of course, you need to raise your intonation as well. You provide your students working the pairs, and your students should read 6 sentences, 6 questions with a different type of intonation. And depending on the intonation, the opponents should guess the ending of the story. It means that, first of all, you need to teach your students when you present some old information, the intonation will go down. If you produce some new information, the intonation will rise. So tell me, please, where we have got the question text, we talk about the intonation. Yeah? Of course, you need not only remember the pattern of it, grammar pattern I mean, but the pitch pattern as well. If I have got the question tag, the grammar topic, we need to teach the intonation as well. That's why we have got the intonation monopoly. We have got the field for this, and we have got the set of different cards. Of course, you cut the cards down and you put them to the start. Your students work in group and pick up the cards randomly because they are face down. And they need to create the correct question tag to this sentence. And they find these question tags here and read it with the correct intonation, falling or rising. If the students hear that the person made a mistake, the person cannot put the card in this field. It means that this person misses the turn. Your task is to reach the start. It means that you make this circle or square, better to say. If your students do this quickly, you may say that the winner is the person who passes start 3 times or wherever you want. Okay, I think it will be perfect. And one more I want to show you. This is some intonation directions. This will be the last one. So we have got 3 different cards. So pictures, they just random. They don't mean anything. What means is the question that we have here. Each person gets the same card. If you work in the group, all groups should have the same part. The person reads this sentence, and this sentence contains two words that are underlined. And the person puts stress on any of the word. And depending on the word, the opponents, the partner, should guess the correct continue. Whether the person is sure or whether the person is not sure and wants to get the answer for this question. So I will provide you with the different instructions, with the keys. So if you're interested, you will be able to read it and to use it during your lessons. So we talked about different high levels, how to teach them, how to make their life complicated. But what about the lower levels? They also need to be taught intonation, because from the very beginning it should come. To the lower levels, to starters, to elementary level, I can suggest you using different dialects. Of course, with all respect to you, you're not native speakers, and it's not a very good idea when you read this dialect by yourself. You should use native speakers, and you should use audio for this one, and make your students repeat after them. Pay attention that intonation while learning this should be exaggerated. They should act out, they should maybe show off a little bit. So when they practice it, our method is good. So not just be shy and embarrassed, being afraid to say any single word. And for this case, I can give you like 27 different dialects connecting to different topics. It can be sport, health, so you may vary this, and you may use it as a warm-up, as a production maybe, as a drilling one, so depending on the topic that you have and depending on the functional language that you have. So you will find this attached, don't worry. What should you do? You should first of all identify which words are stressed, which words are not stressed. Basically, if you talk about the pitch, the stressed word will be context word. Context word, they suggest you the meaning of the sentence. If you talk about some form words, they talk about the tense, they talk about the structures. Basically, they are conjunctions, particles, prepositions, and they are usually not stressed. So it's not very difficult to comprehend, it's not very difficult to practice. So make sure that you practice regularly and your students are used to having this practice all the time. So, to my point of view, I have mentioned everything to you. Not very serious stuff. Now I'd like to test you a little bit, and I have got several sentences for you that I'm going to share this with you. As we teach adult students most of the time, we deal with students that they have different level of preparation, different background level, different attitude towards pronunciation, towards learning. It means that you need to pay attention to these factors that can influence your pronunciation and your student's pronunciation. So we have got 6 factors like sex, mother tongue, personality, attitude towards pronunciation, natural ability, conversation with natives. So 4 of them may influence the process of learning, and 2 of them may not. While reading these questions, make sure that you answer them in the comments. I hope that you see this, yeah? So pick up 2 that you think they do not have any influence on the teaching pronunciation or on the learning pronunciation, both sides. So I don't see your comments. Okay, hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Mm-hmm. Great that you greet me. Okay, 4 and 6. We'll get one answer. Okay. Okay, probably fourth in the least influential. Probably. So, last minute you have. Who wants to participate? I will not give you any word, I'm sorry. But just check your intuition. Everybody gave up, yeah? Okay, I can tell you that. I'm sorry, but none of you guessed. So sex cannot influence the way that your students learn. So do females learn better than males? No, they have. They have not so strengths, they have not so abilities for this one. Okay, so it means that they are not better than males, and males are not better than females. So it's absolutely not correct. So mother tongue, this is the most important factor, because um, if we have got the language that is the closest to the English one, it will be easy for you to pronounce the same, to understand the language the same. And it is on the top of our factors. So next comes attitude towards pronunciation. It also influences this. If your students are eager to study, they will do this successfully. If not, unfortunately. So if you talk about the personality, we missed it. It doesn't influence as well. So do outgoing people learn pronunciation better than shy people? No, they do not. Because it doesn't really make any difference. Are you outgoing person? Are you shy person? It's just your wish to learn this. And it means that attitude towards the pronunciation will be the second factor after mother tongue. Then comes the natural ability, because we cannot deal with nature. This is our talents, this is our aptitudes. So this is number 3. And conversation with natives, this is the least important. It depends on the time that the students communicate with the natives. And as you can understand, native speakers, they are not usually correct, and they are not usually have the correct utterance. So it comes natural for them, but we are all different people, we have different emotions, so we cannot control them. So sometimes when we need to surprise the intonation, we raise it, but not all of the time. So we understand we're not robots, and we talk about some basic rules, some basic principles, but of course the intonation may vary, and rely on the native speakers too much. Not very good idea. So it's me again. We're about closing. Please pay attention that your students are like children, because when we learn something new, we become children. So don't be very strict with them. Make sure that you praise them. And thank you for being with us, for learning something new. Have a nice day.